Hi again then guys, and welcome to episode 7 of Global Contenders, the review series for Gran Turismo's pretty strong touring car selection, a pretty large proportion of which are made up of fictional touring cars, which we commonly call PD originals, and this is one of those vehicles. In fact, this is one of the original race cars that's been featured on Gran Turismo for a little bit longer. It's a Subaru Impreza based touring car, based on one of the models which is considered by some, not all, but some, to be one of the less attractive Imprezas. Personally, I don't really understand that. I think it's a reasonably good looking car, as much as any other Impreza in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of it in general. But as a touring car, this vehicle is outstandingly good. And it's popular. And there's a reason for that. And it's the reason that I mentioned. It's really, really good. Now, as far as the engine, you're looking at a 2-litre boxer unit. It's all-wheel drive. And it actually puts out the exact same amount of horsepower when fully tuned as the also fictional Mazda RX-7 touring car, the premium model, 696 horsepower. This car also puts out 521 foot-pounds of torque, which is pretty good, but unsurprising for a boxer engine. They are very good for torque, typically. And that kind of power is really good to see from a Subaru Impreza on Gran Turismo, because that's the kind of power that the Impreza deserves to have. That's the kind of power that the road versions should be able to achieve, and the Mitsubishi Evos as well. But the touring car is pretty much the only version which can be tuned to that level. So the question is, putting all that power into a car that has all-wheel drive and only weighs 1,025 kilos, which is roughly the kind of weight that you'd expect from a DTM machine, you'd probably expect it to be pretty good. The Subaru Impreza is, after all, a very good vehicle to work from as a base for motorsport, be it touring car racing, GT class racing even, if there was one, and of course rallying. It's a strong, dependable and competitive car to work with, and this super touring car, as the name suggests, does just that. It really lives up to the potential that the Impreza has. Now, I don't personally use this car all that much, purely because many other people already do, and I prefer to be different, even if it means I'm not necessarily quite as quick. The fact is, though, that as far as touring cars go, especially the fictional ones on Gran Turismo, this is one of the very best. Now, as far as price, it's reasonably well priced. 500 grand is a lot cheaper than many of the others, but at the same time, for a fictional touring car, that's quite a lot. You can get the Skylines for about 200 or 300 grand less than that. Various others are also cheaper, so although it's a good price, it's certainly not the cheapest of the fictional touring cars, nowhere near. For 500,000 credits, though, it has to be said, you do get incredible competitive range. The top speed is pretty good, the acceleration is, as you'd expect, very good, and off the line it can actually beat some road cars with NOS, even though this car doesn't have NOS, so pretty impressive. As far as handling, well, as you'd expect, it's an Impreza, of course it's going to be good. The handling is spot on, there's a huge amount of grip, you can even make it drift if you want to, but the overall handling package is a very good one. It's a dependable car to work with, it's surprisingly beginner friendly, especially for a car that's got close to 700 horsepower, and overall, especially for 500,000 credits, it's a strong choice to go for. The fact is, you cannot repaint this car, but it does have paint options, which is also a nice addition, which some other race cars have. So overall, it's a good car, and that's an understatement. It's a touring car which isn't necessarily the most shouty visually. It just does the job. It does everything you really need a touring car to do. It's well priced, it has good handling, tons of grip, strong acceleration, and for its power at least, a good top speed. So overall, there's not really a huge amount more to say about the Impreza. It's just a really good car. And the name itself, the Super Touring Car title, it's appropriate. It lives up to that. It's a fantastic machine. As far as downsides, if I was forced to come up with one, well, it's not a strong top end as some others, but even then, there are very few tracks that most people will race touring cars on where that really matters, and even though it does fall behind some, like the CLK touring car or some of the GTR touring cars, it's not really surprising that it does, because that's the same issue that the road-going Imprezas have for the most part. So overall, it's not even that much of a downside, it's just what you'd expect of the car. And as far as pure performance, it's leaps and bounds ahead of the road-going Impreza, as you'd hope it would be. Between this and the other Impreza touring car, there's no competition. I would definitely recommend this vehicle of the two. Not that the other one is a bad car, this is just completely leagues ahead of the other Impreza touring car, and in fact leagues ahead of many of the other touring cars in general. So that's it overall for this particular pick. If you're looking for a strong touring car, look no further than the Impreza. It's not my personal favourite choice, but in a similar way to the Nissan GTR, it's a dependable and popular choice that lives up to the popularity. It's popular for a reason. It's good. But that's it for this particular episode. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.